Hi, I'm Annette Simmons. Selfishly serving the world. What does that mean? What might that look like? Well, in this short series of videos, I'd like to share with you some tools that can help us not only to make our life a better place to live, but also how to make the world a better place to live. And the centre point of these tools is a really intuitive and powerful little formula that when I met it about 25 years ago, almost instantly changed my life. And when after the end of a coaching session I ask my clients what were the most useful things that we work together with during our sessions, almost inevitably this formula comes at the top or near the top of the list. And it can be summed up in this quotation by Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl, when he said, "Between stimulus and response there is a space, and in that space lies our freedom to choose our response, and in those choices lie our growth and our happiness." So this formula can be used like a mathematical formula and can be used in any situation in our lives, in our personal or professional lives. And it goes like this: E plus R equals O, where E is the event that's just taken place in our life, and R is our response to it, and O is the outcome. Well, that's pretty obvious, you might say, pretty common sense little idea there. So, and indeed it is, it's very intuitive, and you'll probably feel that you've always known it when I've explained it to you. So let's look at it in a bit more detail. The event would be perhaps that you're having a rather tricky conversation with somebody about a delicate issue, and in the middle of the conversation they suddenly say, "Why are you being so aggressive today?" Or, "That was a stupid thing to say." And you get that familiar stab in your body of anxiety or resentment or frustration or annoyance. And in fact that's one of your initial responses in this situation. But your actual response is probably likely to mirror what the person said, in terms of it might be a sarcastic jibe or a defensive comment or something which may even, heaven forbid, look like an attack. So the outcome you're going to create from that is probably going to be fairly similar to the initial event. There's going to be a downward spiral to the situation and to your relationship with the other person. It's not going to make matters any better. So how do we use this formula, E plus R equals O? Well, when the event happens, when the person says that thing, we take this finger here and we push the pause button. The pause button. Yes, there is always a pause button right there in front of you in any situation in your life, and we can use it at any time. So with finger firmly pressed on the pause button, you jump from the event to the outcome, and you design the outcome on 3 different levels. First of all, you say to yourself, how do I want to feel as a result of what I'm about to say or do here? And you decide that. I want to feel motivated, relieved, happy, excited. I want to understand what's going on, whatever it is. The second level of design of the outcome is to say to yourself, how do I want the other person or the other people in this situation to feel? And this stage is as important as the first, if not more important. You want the other person to go away feeling good about themselves. You want them to feel happy and motivated and understand. You don't want them to go away feeling punished, ashamed, humiliated, less than you. Some people do want the other person to go away feeling like that. And if that is the case, then this formula will not serve to help make your life a better place to live in, or help them, or help the world to be a better place to live in. It's really essential that you want them to go away feeling good. And the third level of design of the outcome is to ask yourself, what do I want to happen on a practical, logistical level? I want to sign the contract with the client, or I want the team to understand what I'm talking about, or I want to get this promotion, whatever it is. So you design the outcome on these 3 levels, and then you go back to the R, back to the response, and you say, okay, so what do I need to do now to make those things happen? And you do it. Sounds really simple, doesn't it? Well, obviously it can't be that simple, otherwise we would never have any hiccups in our life, everything would be plain sailing all the way through. So we're going to look a little bit more about what makes this what makes this formula so difficult to enact all the time. One possible way through this situation would be to have said to the person, point your fingers on the pause button, oh, okay, that's interesting, I didn't realise I came across as being aggressive. What exactly is it that I say or do that makes you feel that? So there you'd be approaching this difficult situation with a more curiosity-driven response rather than an anger-fueled response. So today I just want to leave you with one really interesting point about this formula, and that is that the O, the outcome, becomes the new event in your life, the new E. You have just created a new event in your life from the way in which you have responded to the last one. So we are creating events in our lives on a moment-by-moment basis. We are creating our own life by the way we respond to what's going on for us right now. In fact, probably about 90% of the stuff that seems to happen to us from out there is actually generated from something we have done, some response we have made to an event at some point in time, in the past, or maybe even the quite distant past. So the power of this formula is really that we always, always, always have a choice as to how we respond in any situation in our life. We are never forced to respond in a particular way. We have always got the ability, it's the biggest, the most effective tool in our whole toolkit of tools as human beings, that we have the power of choice. The pause button is always there. It is your friend waiting for us to use it in order to make choices more mindfully as to how to respond to any situation in our life. And that is how we can selfishly serve the world.